You, Orange County.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Who's the teacher?
That's me.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
Well, Chris, how was the performance tonight? You guys blew them out, even before the game was over. It was over, but what would you say the magic is that you guys are performing at today?
I think it was just our approach to the game. You know, our core guys, me, Blake, DJ, you know, we've been together for so long now. We know the importance of these games, and just trying to approach each game with the same mentality of, you know, not getting too high, not getting too low, staying with the same killer mentality.
Chris, you always talk about defense after every game. Obviously, the offense caught up, but to see the consistency of it, is that kind of sparking you guys right now?
It is. You know, I think when you start off the season, you're always wondering sort of what your team's identity going to be, and then once you get a few games under your belt, you sort of start to see that. And I think now our team is excited about our defense. You know, we get excited about stopping teams and, you know, trying to keep them under a certain number or whatnot. So that's something I think can be contagious all season long.
The personnel is largely the same as the starters. What's kind of been the difference in what you've seen defensively?
That's a good question, because we say the same. I've thought about that. I was like, man, why didn't we do this last year? But part of it's attention to detail. We tweaked a few things here and there, and trust. You know, that always helps too, is knowing that when you help a guy, another guy's going to be there.
What did your team do so well that allowed you to build that big lead, and then you maintained it the whole way?
Me?
The team.
No, I'm saying like
Oh,
me,
for you.
the other guys sitting here. I think we just we kept defending and we kept running. You know, we didn't try to trick up the game or anything like that. We kept making the extra pass, finding guys, and it's like we said, we just keep talking about not getting complacent. You know, and it may happen sometimes this year, but we actually talk about it not being up 20 and then letting them cut it to 8 and stuff like that. We're trying to keep getting better.
Blake, this one of you. So statistically speaking, you guys have been pretty far and away the #1 defensive team in the league so far this year. But when you've been out there, has it felt like you guys have been that dominant at that end?
I think we've been good. I think we can be better than we actually have been. The thing about it that I've noticed this year compared to years past, you know, it really starts at practice for us. Like we get excited about defense, and I've said this several times now, but I don't even think we really, like, most of our emphasis coming from the players is on defense. Like we're ready to get 5 stops in a row, 6 stops in a row, whatever it is. The second unit's doing the same thing. So I think the onus has been on the players, just having that mindset and taking pride in it.
How did that mindset change, or when did it change?
You know, over the years, just like you said, trust. I think we have made some small changes here and there, but you know, as far as the starting unit, this is pretty much our second year. You know, with everybody playing together, being really familiar with each other. I think everybody's just kind of focused and paying attention to details, like you said.
Like, there was a play, I think, in the third quarter where Tobias Harris kind of gets you off the dribble and scores a pretty easy basket, and you kind of grab the ball in the net and you look upset by it, and you guys were up 32. Is the kind of continued attention to detail, like Doc said, trying to be, you know, good is okay, but great is better? Is that kind of, do you think, in your mindset more than it has been in the past, kind of building up and stuff like that?
Did you know which play I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. It didn't seem that easy, but yeah, I mean, you know,
You seemed annoyed though after.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, I mean, I think that's what I think CP and I have talked about a lot. Is taking the next step as a team. You know, even when you're up 30 or 20 or whatever it is, there shouldn't be let up. Like, you can't start playing a different way and practicing bad habits just because you're up by a lot. You know, it's doing those little things. I think that's part of it. You know, taking pride in the one-on-one, and then, you know, also being there to help your teammates.
Blake or Chris, what did the explosive performance you guys had on the road, especially in San Antonio, what did that do for you guys? And, you know, as you come back home and you're continuing to ride that wave?
Well, JJ said something about it towards the end while we were on the bench, he was talking about our road trip and how good that was, and how this year, you know, when we come off of road trips where we do well like that, not having let down. You know, we can name, because we've been together so long, we can name games over the years that we've been like, man, we shouldn't have lost that game. Man, we shouldn't have lost that game. So I know it sounds repetitive, but it's just attention to detail, and one of the biggest things we keep talking about is finishing. You know what I mean? Finishing. So finish the game, finish everything that we do. If it's a drill, every day in practice, having the same mindset and not getting complacent.
Student have a last question?
Student.
Go ahead. Student of the game is the player.
I'm always, I believe in all, I believe in all. You guys, the way the first month of the schedule's set up, I think you guys might only end up practicing 2 times.
Don't have 2 days between games till December 7th.
Yeah, you've
Who pays
looked.
attention?
You've looked. How do you guys? I mean, Doc kind of mentioned that maybe that's changing the way you guys do film. That's doing shoot around a little differently. How do you guys kind of avoid the kind of slippage that naturally happens when you don't practice?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
I think it's attention to detail. I mean, you know, I know that's kind of what we've been sitting up here saying the whole time, but having a different mindset, knowing, you know, we all know that what our schedule looks like. We know that we're not going to practice that much, so when we do get in there, we do have time to practice. When we are there for shoot arounds, I think really locking in and taking ownership as players. You know, like, hey, we gotta learn this, or we gotta get this down, or talking something out on our own, figuring out a set that how we want to guard it. You know, just little things like that, I think, go a long way. You know, and it helps to also have a team that's been together for a long time.
Yeah, I think with Doc, it's a trust factor too. You know, in that we've been with Doc now for a while, and we know how he does allow us to be professionals. You know, and that we don't practice every day and stuff like that, but he trusts us to come in and get our work and stuff like that. So, especially with the schedule looking the way it looked, you know, he does a great job of making sure we get our rest, as well as trusting us and knowing that we're going to be pros and we're going to get our work in and stuff like that. So it's not always about like quantities, you know, the quality.
Last one.
Get them beat.
Hi, so I was just wondering, how are you going to be able to sustain this level of play for the rest of this season?
It's a great question, you know, and you know, in all seriousness, not to be funny, but like this is our job. You know what I mean? Like this is what, you know, we signed up for. You know, we have a lot of guys on our team that have been in this league a while, and I think what's nice about it too is that we have so many different guys that can push each other. You know, whether it's, I think it was last week, I was a little sick going into the game. B came up to me before the game, was like, I know you ain't feeling, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. So we have guys on our team where we push each other on certain nights in a long schedule, long season. You know, we have to pick each other up.
All right, thanks, guys.